Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hopping back on some Black Ops 6 to talk about what in the world has been going on with the state of Call of Duty in general. All over my Twitter feed today, I have seen nothing but people talking about Warzone declining, the game itself, Black Ops 6, declining in popularity and player count. I've been seeing that for the past couple days now, but I've seen a lot of it today, and I don't really know what sparked it. It's probably been happening for a couple days now. I'm not really like super in the mainstream feed and conversation pieces of these Call of Duty conversations because I'm just now getting back into it. So I've probably missed a good bit of stuff. One good talking point though came yesterday from Modern Warzone. Call of Duty's Ricochet anti-cheat team admits they did not hit the mark for the integration of Ricochet anti-cheat at the launch of Season 1, particularly for Ranked. They say their kernel level drivers should receive major updates in Season 2 or 3. Right now, in the state of the game that we are currently in, it is 41 days until Season 1 is over. Cheating has been a serious issue for Black Ops 6 multiplayer. I made a video covering that as well when Ranked Play first dropped in the first couple days it had been out. And that's not very surprising. Obviously, in an FPS game, you're gonna have cheaters, you're gonna have problems like that. That's just going to happen, right? But for Call of Duty's Ricochet anti-cheat team to admit, hey, we messed up a little bit. We failed. My bad. You know, that's our fault. The whole point of the anti-cheat is to stop the cheaters, and the cheaters aren't getting stopped. It's not doing the best as we want it to. But in 40 plus days, it should get a little better is what it sounds like. So it doesn't even seem like we have a legitimate anti-cheat to work with in the first place. So if you are experiencing these cheaters and running into them in ranked play in these high tier lobbies or in Warzone, lobbies getting shut down by people lag switching the entire servers, sadly, don't be surprised. I personally maybe have gotten lagged out of a game or two, like the entire lobby getting lagged out. Then Modern Warzone tweeting this out. I feel like Warzone is genuinely dying. Charlie Intel commenting, the problem is that nothing will really change. Microsoft is going around toting how Black Ops 6 is the most successful Call of Duty ever, every chance they get. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Warzone anymore. I haven't been a big fan of it for a while now, so I can't speak on anything Warzone related at all whatsoever. I can only hear it from people on the Twitter feed. I can only see it from a couple streams I hop into here and there, seeing if people are playing Warzone. There was a video on Nade Shots from, I think, his stream today, probably. Nade Shot explained that the reason he's stepping away is because the multiplayer side of things, when he does play ranked play, it's either a cheater every game. If the cheater is losing, then they will probably just close the entire lobby down so no one wins, or he's experiencing lag issues if there's no cheaters in the game, and he feels like he's playing back in 2008, is his words. And obviously, not everyone is going to experience the exact same thing. Some players have zero issues with this at all whatsoever. This is something I've been trying to talk about here and there a little bit for a while now. Why is everyone experiencing this game so drastically different? And it's all on purpose. It's got to be. It simply has to be. From the top down, there is evidence of issues that we have, whether it be hacker issues, whether it be server issues, whether it be the game itself. We have examples and almost in an endless amount to show for what's going on and what's happening in our games. Then some people see that and they're like, oh, I've never experienced that before. That's crazy. Or they actively say, shut up, the game is great, just stop complaining. Why are you getting mad at my experience or my opinion of the game? Obviously, we as human beings are not gonna agree upon things. That's okay at the end of the day, that is. Now it's come to the point where it's once again just being talked about. Now, is Warzone and Black Ops 6 actually dying? Is Call of Duty itself really going downhill and actually dying? At that point, it's a personal opinion. You can say yes or no. We do have a tiny bit of data, though, that we can go off of and kind of guesstimate as to what it all collectively is doing all around the board on console, PC, Steam, stuff like that. Steam charts, very easy to look up. Call of Duty itself. As you can see, we have from October 2022 to the last 30 days, we have all of the evidence that we need to look at right here for a baseline idea of what's happening with the game. We have Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 right down here with November 2022. Modern Warfare 3 right around here, around this release date for November 2023. Black Ops 6 released October 24th, so that's why there is this insane player increase. 15,000 gain in October, 81,000 gain in November, but now in the last 30 days, you can see a bit of a negative number right here. It's half of what it gained in November. Obviously, the average players are still killing it. It's over 100,000. Obviously, Call of Duty is still going to average a ton of players playing the game. Call of Duty will never die. Simple as that. It's too much of a household name. No matter how awful they treat the game, Activision, Microsoft, no matter what turmoil they cause the game, still gonna have players no matter what. This is, once again, just Steam charts. Just Steam charts. But can kind of off balance this a little bit by assuming there's a ton of more players on Xbox because of Game Pass. A little $5, $10 monthly subscription to play whatever Xbox games you want to play. So obviously there's probably such a great amount of increase in Xbox land that this number doesn't really matter. Even though the game is on Game Pass, players could still be leaving. Same thing on PlayStation, same thing on PC, on the Battle.net version of Call of Duty. Just as I was starting to slightly like this game too. That's what's crazy. Obviously, this is a yearly thing, which is the COD cycle. We all know this. New game releases, new game, cool, shiny, great. New game has problems. We all hate those problems. A couple months go by, the new game is an afterthought. We're looking back at the old Call of Duty thinking, wow, we had it so great back then. I wish we could go back to that last year's Call of Duty that still probably has plenty of players to go play it. Or people were wanting it to go back to like the older days with like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, the OG Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, all reminiscing on the good times for a couple months, sludging through what's left of this COD cycle. And then leaks come out, and then trailers come out, and cosmetics come out, trailers come out for the campaign, the multiplayer trailer comes out, and they talk about the game, they go into good detail with it, they make it look all shiny and brand new and stuff, and everyone gets hyped for it. The game comes out, it's the COD cycle. It is an infinite cycle that literally just never ends. Is it surprising? No, not at all. I know why it's not surprising. It's because they want to make money every year. So why would they make sure the game works great the entire lifetime it's out when they want you to get ready to buy that new Call of Duty game the very next year so they can get another 70 bucks out of you at the launch, or your pre-order money, or $100 depending on if you bought the really cool edition of it with a couple of extra bells and whistles here and there when the game launches. They want the money. Obviously, that's what, you know, it's all about. Activision and Microsoft, they're a business. It's all about money. But that's why when you see like these very poor decisions, and also why the servers still are just absolutely piss poor horrible, when you're lagging your tits off for no reason whatsoever, especially when you shouldn't be, because you might have like fiber optic internet. It's not you that's lagging. The server itself just is terrible because they don't want to put any money into the server or the health of the game because they know players are still gonna play and buy the game every single year. The COD cycle. Doesn't matter what state the game is in. There's still gonna be somebody playing the game that they're gonna be able to sell a couple of bundles to. They're still gonna make money no matter what every single year. But it keeps getting worse. That's what's actually impressive. Now, resorting to using AI at Microsoft and Activision to cut more costs so they can keep their pocket bigger at the end of the year. Because if you have AI making your cosmetics, dealing with the anti-cheat, being the anti-cheat essentially as well, even though it doesn't work, obviously, they're gonna fire even more people because now they have this computer to do their job for them, so they can cut more corners and cause more issues for the player base when the yearly game comes out. A lot of players have gotten aggravated with the addition of AI usage in the cosmetics, in the game in general, because, you know, there's no real soul now. Whenever things are being done, being made, you kind of just, you have to really question, was this made by a human or was this done by AI with the cosmetics and stuff? Kind of really showing us that they really don't care what happens as long as they get their money. They don't really care. They'll cut any corners they have to just to make sure they're making that extra big bonus money at the end of the year. Is Call of Duty dead? No, not at all whatsoever. That's an obvious one, that's for sure. Is Call of Duty dying? Maybe. It might actually be this time. The player number decreases obviously is going to happen every single year. Like I talked about, Call of Duty cycle. It is just a part of the yearly cycle at this point. It's a part of it. New game loses its shiny look to it, and players slowly go away from it until a new game comes out. Players come back, players go away. Infinite loop. It's an infinite GTA money glitch, essentially, for Activision and Microsoft. They know what they're doing, but they don't care. They simply do not care. They're cutting corners by adding AI to the game itself, by utilizing AI to, you know, maximize profits is probably what they're calling it or whatever. The game itself looks good on paper, and then the servers are horrible, so your gameplay experience is also horrible. There's cheaters running rampant, causing other people genuine issues that they can't even play the game anymore, and they hate the game now because it's nothing but cheaters and cheaters and cheaters. They can't play because either they're dealing with cheaters or they're dealing with the server being terrible. Issue after issue at this point. And the only thing that could kill Call of Duty is Call of Duty itself. Talking about like Activision, Microsoft, and the path that they go with Call of Duty. Is that a possibility? I'd say yes. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's possible though. I am very interested to see what happens in the next month or two with the player count, with the direction things go, if the cheater situation continues to get worse, because Ricochet pretty much said, hey, we kind of suck at our job right now and it's going to get better later. So for the next month or so, we might see even more cheaters because of how terrible the anti-cheat is currently being right now. Every Call of Duty has their own slip-ups in specific ways. We're seeing Black Ops 6 and Warzone have their slip-ups right now, I'd say. Right now, it's currently a cheater cesspool for a lot of players to deal with. Terrible servers that nobody can play on, including myself at times. And those two things out of this multi-billion-dollar company and entity that is Call of Duty should never be an issue for any of us to deal with ever, in my opinion. But they don't care, so.